Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We are going to start in about 5 minutes. We're just going to give a few more people some time to get here. We know that some others are on their way. So we're just going to give them about 5 minutes and then we'll begin. Okay, I'm being instructed that we should begin as we have all of the important parties here. So then we will begin. Please remain standing as we invite Mr. Henderson Wiltshire to deliver God's blessings on this afternoon's ceremony.
Good morning, everyone. Let's bow our heads for prayer. Almighty and gracious Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for the blessings of another day. We want to thank you for our life, that we're here bowed in your presence as we give you the honor and the praise due to your matchless name. We want to thank you for your traveling mercies that you will bestow upon us today, that we will reach here in peace and in safety. And I pray that mercy will also be extended to those who are on their way. We want to thank you for granting those who have been charged with conceptualizing and executing this program, for granting them the competencies that they would have done so according to your will. Heavenly Father, as we go into the remainder of this program, it's my prayer that your Holy Spirit will guide and direct everything that is said and done today, that at the end of it all, we'll be able to say it was good to be in this place today. So, Heavenly Father, into your hands we commit the remainder of this program, and we pray these blessings according to no other name but the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and for his sake. Amen.
Mr. Wiltshire, thank you so much. Please, you may be seated. Minister of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, the Honorable Kay McConney, MP. Minister of State in the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, the Honorable Sandra Husbands, MP. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, Ms. Wendy Odell, and other senior members of the ministry. Chairperson of the Board of Management of the Barbados Community College and a Director of the National Transformation Initiative, the Honorable Dr. Alison Leacock OR, and other members of the BCC's board. Chairman of the Samuel Jackman Prescott Institute of Technology, Mrs. Corrine Kennedy Tate, and other members of the board. Principal of the Barbados Community College, Ms. Annette Aline. Principal of the Samuel Jackman Prescott Institute of Technology, Mr. Ian Drakes. Acting Director of Training of the Barbados Vocational Training Board, Ms. Valerie Quinton. Acting Executive Director of the Technical and Vocational Education Training Council, Ms. Wendy McLean. Industry partners and sponsors of the Barbados Construction Gateway Training Initiative. Staff of the BCC, the BVTB, SJPI, and the TVET Council. Members of the media and the Barbados Government Information Service. Specially invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much. I do like an interactive audience. And I am delighted to welcome you to the Barbados Community College on this beautiful Friday morning and to the launch of the second cycle of the Barbados Construction Gateway Training Initiative. This event comes against the background of a successful first cycle in which more than 1,500 Barbadians learned new skills, developed a greater level of confidence, and, according to some of them, had a life-changing experience. And it all came while they were doing their part in building up and out this, our beloved country. So now that I have briefly set the wicket, I hope you see where I'm going with this. In keeping with the theme around the country right now, you know that we're in T20 World Cup mode. I'd like to welcome the opening batter to this morning's program. Now, understand that that's the only one you're going to get. You're not going to get any more of those references. Ms. Wendy McLean is the Acting Executive Director of the Technical and Vocational Training Council, and she's ably standing in for Mr. Henderson Eastman, who is away on duty leave. Ms. McLean is currently the Manager of Technical Services at the Council, and she has worked with that organization for over 20 years, starting as a technical officer and progressing to become a senior technical officer before assuming her current position. Wendy began her professional career in retail in the private sector and transitioned to the public sector after achieving her bachelor's degree from the University of the West Indies. At the TVET Council, Wendy is involved in developing and implementing strategies for the growth and quality enhancement of competence-based technical and vocational training and certification. The department she heads is responsible for developing national occupational standards and awarding national and Caribbean vocational qualifications, approving organizations to become assessment centers, developing curricula, and training instructors, assessors, and verifiers in competence-based training, assessment, and quality assurance. And she also provides oversight for various projects and conducted by the TVET Council. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Wendy McLean, the Acting Executive Director of the TVET Council, to deliver the welcome remarks.
Thank you, Lisa. Minister of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, the Honorable K. McConney, MP. Minister of State, Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, the Honorable Sandra Husbands, MP. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, Ms. Wendy Odo, and other senior members of the ministry. Chairperson of the Board of Management of the Barbados Community College, and Director of National Transformation Initiative, the Honorable Dr. Alison Leacock, OR, and other members of the board. Chairman of the Samuel Jackman Prescott Institute of Technology, Mrs. Corinne Kennedy Tate, and other members of the board. Principal of the Barbados Community College, Ms. Anna Aline. Principal, the Samuel Jackman Prescott Institute of Technology, Mr. Ian Drakes, Acting Director of Training at the Barbados Vocational Training Board, Ms. Valerie Quinton, industry partners and sponsors of the Barbados Construction Gateway Training Initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, staff and of the BCC, Barbados Vocational Training Board, the SJPI, and the TVET Council, members of the media, specially invited guests, good morning. It is indeed my pleasure as Acting Executive Director of the TVET Council to give a warm welcome to you for taking your time out of your busy schedule to be with us this morning as we launch Cycle 2 of the Barbados Construction Gateway Training Initiative. Since the BCGTI's inception 2 years ago, the TVET Council has led the coordination of the program, which has served to train and upskill workers, thereby improving the pool of labor available to the construction industry. In addition, we recognize that the BCGTI program has also helped to reinforce the importance of sectoral approaches to skills development. The UNESCO UNIVOC defines sectoral approaches to skills development as one which looks at the changing skills needs from the perspective of a particular sector. The term sector is used here to define specific areas of economic activity, the subdivisions used for analysis and classification in an economic system. Such an approach serves another very important purpose. It encourages the key stakeholders to work together to identify the skill needs as well as to find the best possible training solutions. Sectoral approaches strengthen good practices in skills development through putting an emphasis on skill sets needed in different economic sectors rather than taking a generic approach to skills development. They also provide a very important platform for social dialogue on skills at the sectoral level. So while the BCGTI is focused on the construction sector, it is the starting point that could be replicated across all sectors in Barbados, such as tourism and hospitality, the agricultural sector, and even yet to be developed sectors such as gaming. The key features of this collaboration between industry and the training sector are: one, anticipation and identification of skill needs by sectors, communication of those needs to the education and training sector, and three, the development and implementation of initiatives for initial, continuing training to train, retrain, and upskill the workforce. In this regard, the TVET Council will be doing more to facilitate this type of engagement between employers and training providers as we celebrate our 30th anniversary later this year. Further details on this will be made available in the forthcoming weeks ahead. The Barbados Construction Gateway Training Initiative also represents an example of the importance of diversity and flexibility in education and training versus hierarchy and elitism, which is sometimes an unfortunate aspect. Excellence and competence are needed in every career and sphere of work. Excellence should not be tied to a particular place of study or type of qualification, since every area of economic activity or work requires excellence in practice to safeguard the quality of that work. It is why qualifications such as the National and Caribbean Vocational Qualifications are so necessary. Qualifications that focus on certifying competence and the integration of academic and practical skill-based learning. There is a space for everyone to be acknowledged, accommodated, and celebrated within the education and training system. On that note, I want to share that the 100-day mark in the lead-up to World Skills Lyon 2024 competition was recently observed. The global biennial competition, which will see approximately 1,500 competitors from over 60 member countries and regions compete in 60 skill areas. It is an opportunity for the world to focus on excellence in technical and vocational education and training. The competition, at which Barbados expects to be represented, and indeed the International World Skills Program altogether, provide opportunities for member countries to strive towards excellence. This is both in the skills development and occupational practice, whatever the economic activity may be. In closing, I want to use this opportunity to extend appreciation to all the other collaborators in the BCGTI, the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, the training institutions, the Barbados Community College, the Barbados Vocational Training Board, the National Transformation Initiative, and the Samuel Jackman Prescott Institute of Technology. The trainers, the administrators, the secondary schools that serve as training venues, the trainees who provide the reason for this training program's existence, and of course, our industry partners and sponsors. We again look forward to engaging with our private sector partners to offer job attachments to the BCGTI trainees, a vital activity that helps to cement the learning and skills development. To the prospective BCGTI Cycle 2 applicants and trainees, I wish you every success in making the most of this valuable opportunity. Thank you.
Ms. McLean, thank you very much. A career educator, Annette Aline has led the Barbados Community College since 2019 and is only the second female to lead the region's oldest community college in its 55-year history. Before taking up her role at the helm of the college, Ms. Aline was a distinguished member of the faculty of the BCC, serving as a chemistry tutor, a chemistry coordinator, a tutor 1, and more recently, a senior tutor in the Division of Science. Ms. Aline believes that varied interests and competence in a range of disciplines fuel a creative approach to problem solving, and as such, she developed innovation. It is now my pleasure to invite BCC's principal, Ms. Annette Aline, to deliver her remarks. Ms. Aline.
Minister of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, Honorable Kay McConney, Minister of State in the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, the Honorable Sandra Husbands, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, Ms. Wendy Odell, and other senior members of the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, Chairperson of the Board of Management of the Barbados Community College and Director of the National Transformation Initiative, the Honorable Dr. Alison Leacock, OR, Chairman of the Samuel Jackman Prescott Institute of Technology, Mrs. Corinne Kennedy Tate, and other members of the board of the SJPA, Principal of the SJPA, Mr. Ian Drakes, Acting Director of Training of the Barbados Vocational Training Board, Ms. Valerie Quinton, Acting Executive Director of the Technical and Vocational Training and Education Council, Ms. Wendy McLean, our industry partners, sponsors of the Barbados Construction Gateway Training Initiative, staff of the BCC, SJPA, BVTB, TVET Council, members of the media and BGIS, specially invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Right, that was a mouthful. And I'm going to start with a quotation from the well-known American industrialist and engineer Henry Ford. Coming together is a beginning. Staying together is progress. Working together is success. And today, as we launch the second phase of the Barbados Construction Gateway Training Initiative, working with all of these institutions for the delivery of the citizenship course, we have had the TVET Council monitoring, collating, and reporting on the entire process. Our industry partners have provided opportunities for work experience, and we have had our beloved ministers in the Ministry of Education, Technological, and Vocational Training leading the process. Coming together, staying together, working together. And at the BCC, we have benefited. It is because of the BCGTI that we can now say that we have added 9 new offerings to our programs at the BCC. And 8 of these programs are in the Division of Technology and 1 in the Industry Services unit. And initially, just thought I'd mention this, that the college was not even considered to be one of the institutions that would deliver training, but as we should, we adapted and came aboard to address our societal needs. The BCGTI model itself embodies the idea of community, which is the ethos of the Barbados Community College, one of the training institutions that proudly supports the BCGTI. And it demonstrates what can be accomplished when there is shared vision, shared purpose, and shared resources. And what is that purpose? It is to be transformative and to present additional options to prospective students while concurrently meeting a national need. Options where we remove the red tape, and you heard Ms. McLean mention this in her speech, where we remove the red tape and the barriers that often prevent prospective students from accessing a quality education at the tertiary level, and where we project a welcoming persona to students, where we understand that the students, their educational and training needs must be at the crux of our plans and approaches to their education and training. Now, have we achieved perfection? No. Has the process been without challenges? No. Can we stick to the old model and the old strategies and the old methods for success in this model? No. But has it been worth it? Yes, yes, yes. We, by our very actions, have put a dent in what is referred to very often as the implementation crisis. And today, we launched the second phase, and we can celebrate because we did this. And to our students, our industry partners, success would be impossible without you. And as we embark on this second phase where we incorporate lessons learned and improve on our delivery, I urge all prospective students to see this as another training opportunity for personal growth, for enhanced self-reliance, and for you to make your life better. And as we say in the good old Bajan terms, listen, run hard and apply, okay? So partners, we came together, we stayed together, and we are working together. Let us keep the energy going. Congratulations to all.
Thank you very much, Ms. Aline. The Barbados Construction Gateway Training Initiative, BCGTI, was launched in 2022. Its purpose was to upskill the population and provide a core of trained artisans, males and female, to ensure a supply of skilled workers to fill various jobs in response to a boom in the construction industry. The Ministry of Education, Technical and Vocational Training, together with the collaborating agencies, the Barbados Community College, the Barbados Vocational Training Board, the National Transformation Initiative, Samuel Jackman Prescott Institute of Technology, and the TVET Council, is appreciative of the support provided by the BCGTI's industry partners and sponsors. And now we invite you to meet just one such industry partner, A2 Technologies, if you turn your attention to the video screens.
My name is Andrea Small. My business name is A2 Technologies, which have been open or running for about 4 years. But I am an electrician certified and also qualified with my wireman's license. The main reason for me opening my business is, obviously financial reasons. I wanted a little bit better pay. I was always interested in being my own boss.
My name is Jonathan Moyes. I'm 39 years of age, and I'm a solar installer. Well, basically, I got into the field by just luck and chance. I had a friend, and he is a solar installer actually. He and my current boss work alongside one another, and he had asked me to come out and give him a hand on one of his projects, and I went. And basically, I was captivated what he had going on the roof, basically with the panels and so on, and it just resonated with me. So I tell myself, look, this is something that I would like to do.
I started off working with my father when I was going to school. Doing some labor work. My father's a mason. But I found that work was a little harder than working with my uncle, who is an electrician. So I've been doing electrician work since I was like 18 years old. And currently I'm 33 years old. You can do the math. I have more than 10 years in the field.
I saw some advertisements for the gateway programs at the Polytechnic, and I was interested. And I put the boss, and he told me I joined him as a good idea, go ahead and do it. I told myself it would be best to get the theory along with the practical, but that's what I'm saying.
Obviously, taking on such a big workload, they all had to get help. I heard about the construction gateway program from said Jonathan Moyes and other employee Ishmael Phillips. They had inquired about it and asked me what I thought about it. I had told them that I think it's good to get a theoretical experience as long as a hands-on experience. Both go hand in hand, and it do help you understand what you are doing a lot easier as long as you know what you are doing it.
Basically, the program was informative in giving me a better understanding of what I was doing from the roof and the reasons why. Certain things like directional positioning, and positioning is one of the important things that I learned with the program, right? And also calculations, right? So the program helped me to just go out there and do stuff. It helped me to understand why I'm doing this stuff.
And for me, I think that was a good experience for them because after the program, I had seen or noticed guys being a lot more careful and understanding why we do stuff and why to be careful because how dangerous the power could be when we dealing with the high voltage of the solar panels. So I had seen some improvement or some acknowledgement of the importance of the systems and the installations after the program.
Working out in the field with guys, you would just take instructions and do what you were told. But since the county program, it gives you a wider scope so you can actually arrange your own work because you know exactly what you're doing. You're just like working off of the steam of others, right? It gives me a more insight on exactly what you're doing so that I could go out there and do it to the best of my ability or without supervision. I would advise anybody to come and join the program because the teachers that taught me the program, he was very knowledgeable, and he was very open up with the guys and made the teaching format fun. And all the guys, we created a good little bond with one another. So it was, along with the work, it was also a good camaraderie spirit within the classroom. Once you got that commitment, you'll definitely get rewards. In the 4 years that I've been working in the field, my life is always so I thank to my boss and co-workers that my life has changed drastically. It has definitely improved, So it's definitely a good field to work in, but you just got to be committed to hard work.
If you're looking to be successful in this solar voltaic field, I think it's important to have the theoretical understanding and the practical understanding and be willing to work hard because this field is a lot of climbing, a lot of sun, and also dealing with a lot of high voltage, which is important for you to take very serious.
Industry partner A2 Technologies, ladies and gentlemen. And as you heard, the beauty in programs like Construction Gateway Training Initiative is the outcome for the intended recipient. One of those, Kyle Gibson, is here this morning to share his experience. Now, as you'll hear in just a moment, Kyle was trained in landscaping, but I will let him tell you now how his life has been impacted by that opportunity. Kyle?
Thanks. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kyle Gibson. I'm a past student of the Barbados Construction Gateway program, studied landscaping. I currently work at the Barbados Child Care Board as a general worker, responsible for both external and internal maintenance, including landscaping. Today, I am excited to share my experience with the Barbados Construction Gateway program, especially in landscaping. This program has taught me invaluable skills and knowledge, from understanding plants and tools to health and safety measures, which has benefited both professional and personally. When I joined the program, I was eager to dive into landscaping. One of the first things we focused on was learning about plants. We studied various species, their growth patterns, environmental needs, and how to contribute to the ecosystem. This knowledge was crucial in making informed decisions about plants to use in different projects to ensure sustainability and beauty. We also receive hands-on training with a variety of tools, learning how to properly use shovels, pruners, lawnmowers, and more advanced equipment was an essential part of the program. We were taught not just how to use tools, but also how to use them efficiently and safely. This training ensured that we could handle any landscaping tasks with confidence. Understanding pesticides was another crucial part of our education. We learned about different types of pesticides, the appropriate use, and their potential impacts on environmental and human health. The program emphasized using pesticides responsibly and exploring organic alternatives whenever possible to promote a healthier ecosystem. Health and safety was important throughout the program. We learned best practice to prevent injuries, such as proper lifting techniques and the importance of wearing protective gear like goggles and gloves. Having a trade in landscaping has proven to be incredibly beneficial. Professionally, it has opened numerous opportunities. Skilled landscapers are in demand for both residential and commercial projects. And having a recognized certificate for the Barbados Construction Gateway program gives me a complete edge in the job market. It also provides a stable career path with potentials for growth and specialize in areas like landscaping designs. On a personal level, the skills I gained has been immensely rewarding. Landscaping allows me to create beautiful, functional spaces that brings joy to others and improve environments. It's a career that combines creativity, practical skills, offering a sense of accomplishment and purpose. This knowledge has occurred also enabled me to contribute positively to my community by participating in local projects and promoting sustainable practices. In conclusion, My experience with the Barbados Construction Gateway Program has been transformative. It has equipped me with a wealth of knowledge about plants, tools, pesticides, and safety, and highlights the benefits of having a trade. This program has not only enhanced my skills professionally, prospects has also enriched my personal life by deepening my connections to nature and community. Thank you for listening. I encourage anyone interested in landscaping, masonry, tiling, carpentry, or just to name a few, or any other programs available throughout the Barbados Construction Gateway Program to join. It's a journey that cultivates both skills and profound appreciation for the world around us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kyle. I think we should hold on to that paper and hold on to that word transformative. Kyle described his experience as transformative, and I know that that is what this initiative is all about. The BCGTI program has been expanded for another year. It is projected to train close to 4,000 people as well as provide job attachment opportunities. Job attachments help trainees to cement the skills they've acquired as well as lead to possible employment. Employers who are interested in taking part in the BCGTI Cycle 2 program can call 535-0600, or you can email Construction Gateway Training at mes.gov.bb. Let me repeat, Construction Gateway Training at mes.gov.bb. Now, we draw your attention to our next video as BCGTI graduate DaCosta Bascom shares his experience with the program.
I'm DaCosta Bascom. I'm a carpenter of C.O. Williams, and I did carpentry at the Gateway Construction Program. It wasn't a bad experience. I honestly learned a lot from those 6 weeks I was there. The guy that I used to work with, and he told me, well, I got a program coming. He thinks you should join it.
My name is Donnie Hall. I'm a carpenter, A-class carpenter at C.O. Williams for the past 25 years. And DaCosta came in the program last year. Interesting in that, even although his time had run out as far as like the program for the 3 weeks or for his web it was, he actually asked to work past the 3 weeks to finish a job to see the outcome or the finished product of it. So I found that very interesting in DaCosta.
My name is Samantha Nurse. I'm the group manager at C.O. Williams Construction for Safety and Health and HR. I became involved in the Gateway project through an email and correspondence that came in from the Gateway Project Board, inviting construction companies to participate in the program. So the role that C.O. Williams Construction played was to ensure that we provided some apprenticeship opportunities. Given the various different types of projects that we do, we thought it would be a good idea to allow persons that are seeking more knowledge and skills to be invited into those areas for this short period. I think it was for 2 weeks, in order to allow them to gain a skill set that would make them more employable and be able to, find their way as far as getting some exposure and experience in the workplace of how things actually work. It really encouraged me to actually apply for a job here. So I worked here at COM for about 4 weeks with my job attachment. For the 4 weeks that I've been there, co-workers encouraged me to get a job here. Secondary school carpentry followed me every single way I went.
He has a lot of ideas too, and that is what it takes to make a good carpenter, because you gotta know what you want as a finished product before you start, and that you can't go away with it, you understand? So I think the program is a very good thing, because they got a lot of youngsters out there that interested in doing certain things, but they might not know where to go. I believe that a lot of young people should get into it, basically, because what he came with was almost perfect, so it's just a matter of just fine-tuning what he's supposed to be, and he's doing a good job.
We had skills before the program. The program just helped enhance some of those skills. just go for it. It's good as a young person to go trade. And the gateway program is good for that.
Can we just have another round of applause for places like CO Williams and the other industry partners who give the participants such valuable experience? Thank you very much. Well, the next speaker heads an organization. In fact, she heads many organizations. But this particular one aims to bring out the star Bajan in every one of us. And we all know that a star Bajan is someone who is confident, engaged, communicative, and a respectful lifelong learner. And that really underpins what's being done with the Barbados Construction Gateway Initiative. So now that I've given away who our next speaker is, I'll just say that the Honorable Dr. Alison Leacock, Director of the NTI, along with her role at the helm of the NTI, Dr. Leacock also leads the Barbados Broadcasting Authority, the Barbados Youth Advanced Course Training Committee. She chairs the board of the Barbados Community College, and she is the first Caribbean person appointed to the board of directors of the International Institute for, the International Institute of Communications. With a remarkable career spanning 42 years in executive management, Dr. Leacock has excelled in leadership, corporate communications, media, needs assessment, training, and people development. She possesses an extensive 45 years of experience in broadcast media, including production and presentation as a TV news anchor, and then, notably, she served as the general manager of the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. Dr. Leacock was conferred with the Order of the Republic, OR, in Barbados' National Honors last year. The award was given by the President of Barbados in recognition of sterling contribution to broadcasting, media relations, corporate communications, training, human resource development, and educational technology, as well as distinguished service to Barbados as the head of the National Transformation Initiative. It is now my pleasure to invite to the podium the Honorable Dr. Alison Leacock.
Fate may have made you a
Barbadian citizen.
Becoming an aware
and active citizen is a choice requiring knowledge and skill,
which allows you to get
the most out of our nation.
Barbados needs us to learn,
embrace,
and practice active citizenship.
If it is to become
the greatest nation it can be.
The National Transformation Initiative's citizenship course
will help take you to the next level.
Go to nti.org.bb and take the free citizenship course.
Good morning, Honorable Kay McConney, Minister of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, the Honorable Sandra Husbands, Minister of State in the Ministry, distinguished guests all, esteemed colleagues and partners, dedicated trainees and members of the media. It is my pleasure to participate in today's launch of Phase 2 of the Barbados Construction Gateway Training Initiative. It's an initiative that marks a significant step forward in our journey towards a more skilled, empowered, and dynamic workforce. So you might be wondering, why is the NTI citizenship course included in BCGTI? Why do I have to take it when all I want to learn is how to operate a backhoe? These are valid questions, and they deserve thoughtful answers, which I'm happy to give this morning. I want, first of all, to salute Minister McConney for her visionary decision to include the citizenship course in this initiative. And why do I do that? Because you are more than what you do. And it is essential for us to shift our mindsets from believing that an individual's value is tied solely to a specific job. The future world of work demands success skills, not just technical competencies. These skills, they've been called soft skills, which I don't agree with, but they are the skills that will set you apart and make you employable beyond any certificate. The NTI's partnership, therefore, with BCGTI aims to empower participants to see beyond the confines of learning one job and to discover their full potential. This initiative is about breaking free from the limitations imposed by society and indeed sometimes ourselves. Despite the challenges of digital literacy and foundational literacy that some trainees will face, we have seen remarkable progress whenever we have provided the time and the support that is needed. The positive feedback we receive underscores the course's importance and its impact. The citizenship course equips you with some key tools: excellence and integrity, effective communication skills, developing new competencies, active teamwork, and understanding my national identity. We have learners from as young as 9 years old to as young as 74 years old who have successfully completed the citizenship course and many other courses on nti.org.bb. You knew I would give you an ad today. So please allow me to share some feedback from our trainees. Stephen, a 52-year-old participant, said, "The course was amazing. I really feel that if I had this when I was in school, I would know myself better. I'm going to get my 12-year-old daughter to do the course." Jason, an 18-year-old trainee, remarked, "This course really helped me understand myself. The module on communication showed me how to improve my communication skills to better express my points. I highly recommend this course to everyone." And Shakira, another participant, said, "Why is citizenship not taught in schools, ministers? If I had this in secondary school, I would know my country and myself so much better." Well, we have moved towards that. We've started in the primary schools with our gamification of the citizenship course. Anyway, Shakira ended by saying, "We need this now." I learned about Alan Emptage, about Sagari, and my favorite, Rihanna. So citizenship, in our view, is your gateway to personal empowerment, giving you an edge with employers and, most importantly, with yourself. NTI believes that this preparation is fundamental even before embarking on practical assignments, as you are going to need to navigate new people, new places, and personalities in the world of work. We also extend our gratitude to the dedicated staff at the Barbados Community College, led by Principal Annette Aline, along with Lynn Rollins, Anika Ford, and Mr. Brathwaite, as well as my star Bajan principal, that's a private joke, Mr. Ian Drakes, Mr. Kevin Chapman, and Ms. Hamlin at the SJPI. Thank you all for supporting the NTI and helping at least 259 trainees successfully complete their journey on this citizenship course. So as we launch phase 2, let us remember that this initiative is not happening in a vacuum. It is part of our country's broader mission transformation, anchored in 6 pillars. This is not a destination, but a continuous journey into a digital world we are still exploring and understanding. The just released Global Skills Report shares insights from over 148 million global learners and leading economic indices that equip us with critical skills to thrive amid rapid change. Among the 5 headline data I'd like to leave with you, there's been an over 1,000% increase year on year
in the demand for generative AI, artificial intelligence. 64% of countries in the cutting-edge skill category are in Europe, with the rest distributed across Asia-Pacific and Latin America. Where is the Caribbean? We need to get there. 20 out of 25 countries spotlighted prioritize skills like culture, resilience, and communication. And that is why citizenship is important as part of BCGTI. 69% increase year on year has been shown in industry micro-credentials for in-demand digital jobs. And cybersecurity skills remain crucial amid talent shortages and threats. So in closing, let me dispel two myths as expressed by Patrick Spencer of Infotech Research Group. DX, or digital transformation, isn't only technology, but it is more about strategy, people, process, governance, and culture. And DX solves today's problems by rethinking tomorrow's reality. The BCGTI prepares us for tomorrow's reality. Let's embrace this opportunity and get on board. Log on to nti.org.bb because as we say at NTI, you're never too good to get better.
Hey, my name is Matthew Bourne, and I'm a young entrepreneur and also a fitness instructor. I did the citizenship course, and I must say, like, as a young individual, like myself, somebody who was always looking to improve and, better myself in a lot of different ways, the course was extremely helpful, allowing me to develop the skills to become a leader, to be a better individual, somebody who values and understands teamwork, and a lot of different life skills that I could take into the future to help me to improve as a person and also as a young entrepreneur. My thoughts on the NTI are that it's a great initiative. The program offers a lot of free online courses, and I encourage everybody to apply and get started.
Dr. Leacock, thank you very much. The Honorable Sandra Husbands is an experienced management consultant with a demonstrated history of working in the philanthropy industry. Entrepreneurship is listed as one of her passions, evidenced in the growth of the small business sector during her 6-year tenure as president of the Barbados Small Business Association. And as we advance in Barbados, Minister Husbands believes that an education system that emphasizes entrepreneurship, access to affordable funding and working capital for startups, as well as aggressive marketing programs to fuel growth, is the formula needed to spur another quantum leap forward in the small business space. Minister Husbands was appointed to the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training in January this year, with responsibility for advancing higher education and technical and vocational training, and it's all something for which she has also demonstrated a passion. Help me welcome now, ladies and gentlemen, Minister Husbands first to the BCC and also to the podium.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. And it really is truly my pleasure to be here. To the Honourable Minister of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, the Honourable Kay McConney, as well as to the Permanent Secretary of that ministry. I also want to acknowledge the presence of the chairs of the various tertiary institutions, including TVET, as well as the board members, principals of those organizations or directors. I want to bid our industry partners and sponsors a warm welcome today, the staff of all of these institutions, and members of the media, especially invited guests. I really want to say to you how very pleased and honored I feel this morning to have the opportunity to take responsibility for tertiary education, and especially to work with a wonderful team that helped us to produce Cycle 2 of the Barbados Construction Gateway Training Initiative. Now, this was originally launched in April 2022 under the leadership of the Honorable Kay McConney in response to a boom in the construction industry. And therefore, the first set of cohorts, the first cycle of BCGTI came under her leadership. And what we were able to accomplish as a result of that is to produce close to 1,500 students who were able to be trained in construction training. Now, this is in a major response to what is going on in the economy today, because there is a need for highly skilled workers, and this was part of the reason why the Construction Gateway Training Initiative was instrumental in training a core of highly competent artisans, both males and females, during Cycle 1. And let me just alert you, we intend to emphasize and do more promotion to females in this country so that they understand that they have a place in the construction boom and that they too can earn good income that can help them with their families as well. So that's going to be one of the emphasis. I also want to acknowledge TVET. They played a critical role not only in helping to coordinate the program, but what they did was to do the analysis, send out surveys, and be able to conduct those surveys in a way that we were able to gather significant information that helped to validate what we had done, its value to the community, but also to identify areas for improvement, areas for growth. And what the Cycle 2 will do, it will incorporate the recommendations that came from them to help take it to an even bigger level. And so what we're preparing to do is to be able to produce at least 4,000 students out of Cycle 2, because it is important for the construction industry. I want to say that one of the reasons why this is important, every country in this world had to go through COVID. Everyone's economy took a major hit. And depending on where you were before you entered into COVID, determined the journey that you would have to undertake in order to get out of it. And what the Barbados government did, the Barbados government sat and decided we've got to come up with a strategy that would accelerate the economy and bring it back to a level of vibrancy. Yes, we had a major rebound from tourism, but what we recognize is that the future was going to require that we move to a higher level in terms of our construction industry, and that could become a major boost to help the economy to come out from the impacts of COVID. And therefore, the Cabinet approval has been granted for an extension of this program, where it is projected that a total of 3,984 persons, almost 4,000 people, will be trained, and they will be provided with job attachment opportunities. Now, I want to pause to sincerely thank the businesses that are partners with us in the first cycle. But because we are spreading and we want to be able to increase the numbers, what we want to do is to give an encouragement and to share with our enterprises that they need this program as much as we need them. That when we ask them to partner with us, it is not a charity, but rather we are helping the economy to produce the laborers, the workers that you need, the skilled workers that you need in order to expand and increase the profitability of your own enterprise. And so we're going to be coming back out to you and sharing with more enterprises and helping them to be more involved. Now, what is our expectation concerning this training? We expect that we're going to generate over 5,050 construction jobs and approximately 3,600 full-time jobs as we seek to respond to the needs that are in the community. Construction investment depends on the demand for the construction product, which is generated by an economic upturn. The growth in the sector over time, therefore, reflects the economic health of the country and the future growth potential as projected by the stock of physical infrastructures, which in turn serves as a catalyst for the growth of other sectors. The Caribbean at the moment is currently becoming one of the busiest regions for construction activity in the world. Increasing tourism is driving demand in the Caribbean, not just for hotels or condominiums, but for everything that will support the needs of the domestic citizens as well as the modern tourists, such as new roads, bigger airports, banks, shopping malls, services of every kind. In the current construction boom, Barbados has several major projects, whether in the pipeline, ongoing, or in some instances completed. These include the Grantley Adams International Airport Redevelopment Project, Sagicor Estates, the Hyatt, that is to come on stream, the National Stadium Expansion Project, the National Cricket Academy, the Sewerage Solutions for the Bell and Bellevue, Bailey's Alley, and Chapman Lane, the Speightstown and Constitution River Flood Mitigation Program, the placement of solar panels on the roofs of government buildings, national road rehabilitation projects, a Cineplex and commercial center is being built out at Welch's St. Thomas, and of course, the construction of private residences. What does this tell us? That there is more appetite in the market for the skills which we are going to produce through Construction Gateway. Now, in particular for me, I want to thank the institutions. We are looking to build out a new economy, and what that is going to mean for each of the institutions, SJPI, BCC, BVTB, what that is going to do, it is going to ask of us that we keep upgrading what we do and what we offer. And that's the journey we're on. And let me tell you, it has been my privilege to work with the principals and a number of the other persons in these institutions as we look for how we are going to take technical and vocational training forward so that we make Barbados a first-class destination and a first-class place to live and to work. And so I want to thank each of you sincerely. It really has been my pleasure. And I really thank Minister McConney for the support that she has given to this and the advice that she has shared to help us keep this project going and moving forward. So, with the success that we had in Cycle 1, we look forward to even greater success in Cycle 2. Ladies and gentlemen.
Minister Husbands, thank you very much. The next speaker is the Minister of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, Ms. Kay McConney. The current Member of Parliament for St. Philip West, Minister McConney previously piloted the modernization of the public sector through transformational and technological change, and she also helped to create a sustainable, enabling environment for a vibrant, knowledge-based digital economy and digitally intelligent society. Minister McConney was described by She magazine as a dynamo moving the region forward. She was honored by the University of the West Indies with the Vice-Chancellor's Award for Outstanding Contribution to International Advancement of the Caribbean region. She is a former high-level diplomat at the United Nations, a former negotiator at the World Trade Organization, and a former Consul General in Canada. And before taking up her role as a senator and a cabinet minister in June 2018, she headed a company that specialized in leading strategic change in 21st century environments. And she has, for more than a decade, been an expert resource for various international development agencies. This lady ably leads the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training. Help me welcome Minister Kay McConney.
Good afternoon, all. Thank you, Madam Chair. You know, you heard Minister Husbands and you heard others who spoke before me extol the value of Construction Gateway, and so I will not do that also. But I would say, Mr. Husbands, to the chairs of institutions, to the principals, to all of you here, permit me to accept the protocol that has already been established rather than to repeat all of them. You know, back in April 2022, when we came together with all the institutions you've heard mentioned, the Samuel Jackman Prescott Institute of Technology, the Barbados Community College, the Barbados Vocational Training Board, TVET, and of course the Ministry of Education, they came together in a partnership that was unprecedented at that scale. And what it did, it made them come together to share technology. It made them come together to share financially. It made them come together to pull their human resources to work together. It even brought them together to create a unique certificate that had the stamp of all rather than only the individual stamps of every university, of every institution. Now, you heard Ms. Aline, the principal of BCC, say to you that we started with community. And that was part of seeking to integrate and transform the ways in which our tertiary institutions work together. And so I want to say that was part of transformative objective number one. Secondly, many of you would know that we started with about 24 different areas of discipline in construction. We did not pull those areas from the sky. And I want to thank the private sector, the construction industry. They sat with us, many of them, led by Mr. Steinbach. And they then identified to us what were the areas in Barbados where they were having challenges finding people who were properly skilled. And so the roster of courses that you see are it's a product of community that is industry working with education to ensure that what we put out there is suitable for them. Now, one of the lessons that we learned in the first cycle, and which I know Minister Husbands working with the team will continue to work on ensuring that we get right in cycle 2, is that the industry said to us, we like the program you're doing in Construction Gateway, but we want you to expand it in such a way that the graduates are more workplace ready. And so what started out as only a 12-week program is now going to be 16 weeks in some cases, depending on the particular courses. And I want to thank the private sector for sitting at the table with us and being able to say to the institutions, we like what you're doing, but we know you can do better. And so cycle 2 will see an improvement in the quality and the content and the competencies of those coming out into the workplace. When we started, we said this was going to be a gateway. The name was not accidental. It was meant to be a gateway to learning, post-secondary, because this government and this ministry does not believe that education should only be about what you do up to secondary. We wanted to ensure that we give the necessary support to the tertiary and post-secondary levels that is required. And government's policy in that area is reinforced by the fact that this year we received a minister of state in the ministry whose focus is on the tertiary sector. We have to ensure that we integrate education all the way from nursery to tertiary. And so I want to really and truly thank those members of the private sector who have stood with us. I see some are here. I know many could not make it today. And if I may be so kind as to impose on those of you who are here to just stand from the private sector and be recognized. Thank you. You will see in your program that in cohort 1, we were 32 strong of private sector industries, institutions and entities. And in cohort 2, I am told that we are seeking to expand that number, and we will continue to ensure that what we are doing is relevant to the very industry that is required. I want to say something about the students. I want to thank Kyle. And I want to thank all of those who spoke either on video or spoke in other ways with other people about the experience they have had. Some have already started to see their dream come true. Others, that dream is still in process for many of them. And I want to share with you some of the things we're doing in Cycle 2 to ensure that some of the challenges that participants received or had in Cycle 1 are improved. So, for example, you heard Minister Husbands and others say that 1,552 exactly, but they said about 1,500, which was about true, is true, graduated from this program. Well, actually, we're trained in this program. But here were some of the challenges. Not all were able to complete the program. Some of them had family problems, some of them had financial problems, some of them had literacy problems, where some of the work in the programs just exceeded what they could handle. And we see this not as an impediment, but we see it as opportunity. It is opportunity now, and I want to thank all of the institutions who have now come together to put a literacy program in place that supports the construction gateway, so that those who had to leave the program because it was heavy lifting can now have support within the program to help them go further. I want to thank the National Transformation Initiative and their citizenship program, where some students, again, did not complete. But the feedback we received from them said that for some of them it was a lot of reading, etc. And I know now that NTI is seeking to do what it needs to do to make sure that that program will apply to all who learn in different ways. Some people are visual learners, they must see it. Some people, are auditory learners. Some people must get in there and interact with what they need to do as kinesthetic learners. And so I am happy to see that all programs are now recognizing and respecting that we have adult learners who learn differently, and that the way in which we deliver instruction must respect and align with those many different ways. That's an improvement that you will also see in Cycle 2. There are so many other things that I can say, but I will say that this construction gateway is part of Barbados's policy to reskill and upskill people. And what you will see from our higher education and tertiary level training over the next while is not just the cybersecurity training that helps to prepare people for the future of work and what the world will look like. You are seeing artificial intelligence training that has begun as well. And there will be others over the next year and a half that will come out to ensure that the training we are doing, that training is relevant to the opportunities now and to the opportunities for Barbados to come. Job attachments. To the private sector, I say thank you. But let us also acknowledge some of the challenges and see how we're seeking to work towards that. Some private sector partners told us that when they get the students for their job attachment, they need to put on additional supervisory staff to supervise them. And sometimes it's not easy for them to be able to spend the extra time doing that supervision. And we want to thank all the companies who have gone the extra mile to ensure that they put on the mentors like you saw in the video, or that they put on the additional make the extra effort to put supervisors in place to make sure that we can do the job attachments. What is going to happen is if we do not get ready our population to be able to service the construction industry, we will find that the construction industry will have to bring more people in order to service their needs. And so I say to you, to everyone in Barbados, to the instructors who have served us well, to the companies who have served us well, to the institutions, to the students who have benefited, this is a call to action for all of you to go out there and get more people involved. Because guess what? If we do not adequately supply the construction industry in Barbados, we will have to continue to find others who can. And I happen to believe that Barbados has the capacity to expand our skills and our knowledge to be able to do well by our local construction industry. And so today, if you have taught, if you have been one of our institutional partners, and even to the companies who know that you have workers on your property who may show some competence, but who could benefit from the partnership here, please, companies, send your team on group so that we can help get them certified, because you heard from those who gave testimonies in the videos that when they went back to the workplace, to the construction sites, they were able to deliver benefit to the company. And so as I close, I want to say to you, let this be your gateway. Let it be your gateway to livelihoods where you're able to finance life through a trade that will not only give you money, but it will build character and allow you to be a contributing citizen in this country that we call our own. I thank you.
Minister McConney, thank you so much for that presentation. It now gives me distinct pleasure to invite aspiring jazz musician, music producer, and performer, Miss Kaylee Allman, to the stage. Now, Kaylee has confessed to having a love affair with music, which began 8 years ago while she was at the Allen School, or at the University of Belle Plaine, as she calls it. Kaylee professes her love for the flute, which you will hear in just a moment, and she's just as capable on the pan, because it was she who welcomed you on your arrival here this morning. Kaylee has described her love for music as deep, passionate, and unconditional, and she wants to share it with whoever is willing to listen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Miss Kaylee Allman.
Good afternoon.
Beautiful, Kaylee. Thank you so much. Now, from a career starting in 1987 in composite and special needs schools, our next speaker has grown to become a key figure in Barbados' technical and vocational education sector. His passion for student success has led him to ensure his students enrolled and completed successfully programs at the then Samuel Jackman Prescott Polytechnic, the Barbados Vocational Training Board, and the Barbados Youth Service. His passion for agriculture manifested itself in the setting up of organizations like the 4-H Club, an agricultural day release program, and another initiative called Pipe Fine Furniture. Always a firm believer in lifelong learning, he gained a Bachelor of Education in Technical and Vocational Education here at the BCC. Yes, he is an alum. A certificate in Education Management and Administration from the UE, and later an MSc in Educational Leadership and Administration, as he worked his way from the classroom to deputy principal and now principal of the SJPI. Ladies and gentlemen, to bowl the final ball, I know I said I didn't have any more, but I found that last one. To bowl the final ball in this morning's program, Mr. Ian Drakes, principal of the SJPI.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies, and I'm glad that you had the 11th man batting, as in like a Courtney Watch, that can make that 50 runs for the West Indies. Good afternoon to all. Honorable K. McConney, Minister of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and dedicated trainees, allow me, similar to the Minister, to extend the protocol that has been established this afternoon, and I think we had a wonderful morning into this afternoon session. It is great excitement and honor that I now stand before you to offer a gratitude of today's proceedings with the assistance from our Maker above. With that being said, I first want to thank Mr. Heinesen Wiltshire for inviting and invoking God's presence and guidance into this wonderful launch ceremony of the BCGTI Phase 2, some people say Cycle 2. And as I usually say, these are exciting times. With the adage now of the excitement continues. Gratitude is also extended to Ms. McLean, as Acting Director of the TVET Council, for bringing an impactful and thoughtful complement of welcome remarks, which provided us with much food for thought beyond the acquisition of marketable skills for the future, but the aspect of focusing on the sector development at the national level to better leverage the occupational prospects worldwide. As Ms. McLean added, sectorial approaches strengthen good practices in skill development through the putting an emphasis on skillful sets in the need for different economic sectors rather than taking a generic approach to skillful development. Again, we thank you, Ms. McLean. I want to extend another one to our esteemed colleague, Principal of the BCC, Ms. Anna Allen. My heartfelt gratitude for your warm and welcoming remarks, too. She provided us with a snapshot of Phase 1 and what it taught us, and how the development and implementation of the BCGTI assisted in transforming, and you heard that word again, many of our citizens' lives to the workforce ready here in Barbados. And of course, we must extend our appreciation and thanks to trainees from Phase 1 of the BCGTI, Mr. Kyle Gibson, excellent, for his educational and personal perspective from the training received under this portfolio. It can be said, I believe, that he had an enjoyable and meaningful time in this program. Well done, Kyle. Keep Barbados' flag flying high. And as our motto says, pride and industry. The success of technical vocational education cannot be attributed to only gaining skills with the hands. And one of our distinguished colleagues highlighted this through her wonderful presentation on the fundamental purpose of having citizenship as part of this program. And so I welcome the opportunity to graciously thank our chairperson, Board of Management, Barbados Community College, BCC, Director of National Transformation Initiative, the Honorable Dr. Alison Leacock, OR, we thank you. Your presentation, I am sure, will resonate with us for many times in the future as we continue to strive for excellence and preparing our young and not so young persons for the global world of work and to function as you distinctly stated. Citizenship is your gateway to personal empowerment, giving you an edge with employer and most importantly, with yourself. Again, Dr. Leacock, we thank you. The Honorable Sandra Husbands, Minister of State in the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training. You always bring a level of passion and excitement to our proceedings, even though you've only been here from January. But today was no exception. And we want to thank you for first accepting our invitation, and the Minister as well. We know how busy your schedule is, and Permanent Secretary Wendy Odell. But you have seen the importance of this. And I must say, Minister Husbands, you hit the ground really running, as we Bajans would say. And you've kept abreast of all the happenings in the ministry while providing us with much professional guidance. We thank you sincerely. To our lead minister, the Honorable K. McConney, we now stand to extend our gratitude to the vision and passion and excitement that we all saw from April 2022. And you continue to demonstrate to us because you always ask us those provocative questions. What else can we do? I'm sure your word and wisdom this afternoon will serve us and the citizens of Barbados in excellent stead for our future endeavors and development as we strive for wide learning in this country. And we just had a wonderful rendition from Miss Allman. And I want you to continue to follow your dream. I heard you spoke about the University of Allen, and I think the minister is going to have to look at the universities of Barbados. But we thank you for that excellent rendition just recently. And we would have heard a lot this morning into this afternoon about the private sector involvement. And I want to say in my vote of thanks, I want to move to you this afternoon, not only heartfelt thanks for the past, but we have some persons who have put their hands up and have said, we are ready to develop the job attachment again. And forgive me to those who may not be mentioned, but there's 3 persons who stood out and said that they're eager and ready to support us. Mr. Joseph Steinbach, and he was really one of the architects in where we go in industry demand. We want to thank you again. He has put his hand and said he's ready for phase 2. Zian Stoke, Paramedic Builders, Panoramic? Yes, Panoramic. He said he's ready again. And C.O. Williams, and we saw the video from C.O. Williams, the HR team. Again, I'm saying an advance thank you because we have been scratching our head and we are encouraging more of our private sector to get involved, get investing. Because as you heard the minister said, we have extended it and we have translated those weeks into hours so that the students would get more quality from our instructors. We always say to our instructors, give, and we have always said to our trainees, demand from our instructors. Drag everything you can from our instructors. That's why they stand before you. And so we are going to put it up there to give you some more opportune time to get that from them. I want to thank the team for putting this together this morning as well, and our ushers who has seamlessly taken us through this afternoon proceedings. And I single out Raquel Collymore. I know it's always been a task that is not easy, but we have done an excellent job, and I really want to contribute and congratulate all of those who have made this a resounding success. And I want to say to the public, and I heard Dr. Leacock said it, and I know it will not end without saying it. I need you to go to https:/, which is 2 full stops, /, BCGTI, www.bcc.edu.bb. And I repeat that because you want to get a trade, you want to grab a trade, https, which is 2 full stops, / 2 of those, bcgti.bcc.edu.bb. And when you sign up, we have a competent team of registrars that would assign you to any of the training institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to sign up. I also want to send a message. We have some persons, 3,000, approximately come July 9th, 11th, finishing school. You may be going on to do a degree. I'm saying you have something called Construction Gateway Camp now. Spend these 16 so weeks or hours before you go off to your university. Grab a trade. Trust me, you will not regret it. For those who are unsure, who haven't signed up for anything, haven't done any CXCs, you haven't done CAPE, you haven't done CSEC, I am saying you're finishing school, we are starting Construction Gateway. Today's launch is your message to get to that website. Sign up. Have no doubt that you can be protected. You can be armed with the requisite tools for any of the 23 trades that we will have there while you are taking your summer break. And I'm telling you, some of you will be surprised to say, hey, you know what? I like this. I started like that, making foot poofs during the summer. And I, 1987, became industrial arts instructor. And I never stopped into technical vocation education. So to those school leavers, mom and dad, you want something to get out of your house? No, I have something of interest for them. Construction Gateway. Get on board. And I'm saying to everyone, thank you. I want to thank the media for all of the coverage we've been getting. And also the NTI and the Media Resource Development Centers. NPC? Oh, yes. Okay, yes. Yes. And for those who may be serving us refreshments as well. And of course, we have been brought through this from this morning right into this afternoon. And we want to thank Ms. Broom for bringing us through with her opening baton. And we are truly grateful for this opportunity for such a wonderful occasion, as we are going to be getting out there, getting in your ears for the phase 2 of the Barbados Construction Gateway Training Initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.
Mr. Drakes, thank you so much. And for that clarion call to school